See a little bit of what we do here, and with the directing kind of thing. That might help us tonight with the fireside chat, by the way, and I'll remind you about that a little bit later. We are having a fireside chat tonight, so I hope you get the next few hours set out. I know we are competing with a bunch of other things happening in the world today. It is a very auspicious day, being 10 years on from 9/11, and can chat. Yeah. So what we're looking for is maybe some of the deepest shade. That's where they might be. Could be that Karula has come by and collected them. Let's have a look at some tracks. Wasn't really looking for tracks on the road. We could try and find some. Hello Drongo, where the cat? I haven't heard anything. I've been in here where these Mantuan were. I don't see anything at the moment. Are you there where that Ngala was? Are they there? Oh, so did you find them? Yeah, me too here. I'm not seeing anything. I'm also going to maybe leave the lock. Was there Ndlova at the dam today? Copy. Talk to you later. So, of the 2 cat sightings we had, we don't have any now. They haven't moved far. The thing is, you see, these cats on a hot day like this are flat on the ground. They have such a low profile when they're lying flat that unless they lift their head, which they're not really that likely to do, they're accustomed to the vehicles to the point where they know that unless we're going to drive over them, which is not likely because I'd see it if it was in front of me, but unless they were directly threatened, they wouldn't really, they'd listen to the vehicle, and they'd actually, if anything, feel a little bit comfortable with the vehicle because they know that the vehicle's not a threat, it's not food, but the vehicle becomes like a guardian. There's a citrus swallowtail butterfly just flew by. Elizabeth, for you. Okay, so no cat tracks came this way, and didn't see anything coming up to this part of the world. So we can try Ephraim did Boyatella access road. We can take one more look, or we can come back later. When it cools down a little bit, that's when they're going to be in a tree. That's when they're going to be looking out for mom. And they're going to be, instead of lying low in the grasses the way they maybe have been all afternoon. You know what? Let's stay on this road. No, we can't. I promised Terry. Well, I didn't promise. I very seldom make promises because I know sometimes I can't keep promises. So rather than make promises and break them, I always say I'll try. I'll try my best. But yes, let's go and do for Terry what a lot of people might be asking, because not many people get to see our drives during the week. I'm hoping that now on the weekend there are a lot more of you. And things that we want to point out to you, this sort of start of spring, some of the things that are changing around us, some of the things that are changing in the bush. Every day something different. As I said, here's an acria butterfly. Oh, nearly landed on Seb's hand. So, citrus swallowtail and acria. We've got there's another one. That's a citrus swallowtail. If you could get that on camera, if it would just sit down, but without anything citrus smelling, it's not likely to stay still. Host plant is the small knobwood. It's just flying because it's being watched now, so it's flying in big circles. I'll find it for you. I got the whole summer to find your citrus swallowtail. Flowers might be coming to flowers to get some of the nectar for some of these bush willow flowers that are flowering. But incredible butterflies, but even more incredible are their larvae and the stages they go through, and the way these larvae can make themselves look like a snake. But that's for the summer, so just stay tuned. You just have to stay tuned. I can tell you about things, but it doesn't have half the impact unless I can show you things. So I was saying, with these young leopards that I was looking for now, they're probably lying flat. It's probably best not to even disturb them now anyway. But come cooler temperatures, closer to sunset, they are going to wake up and start moving around. Other things are going to be moving around, but they're also going to be waiting and wanting mom to come back. If they're still here, of course. They might have moved on already. Mom might have found them and taken them to a kill. We'll have to look for tracks. But I'm hoping that when we come back and it's a little bit cooler, they'll be either on a termite mound or in a tree or playing. Let them sleep. Let sleeping cats lie. Okay, questions time. Hello, Valentine. Is that Val in Scotland? Valentine. Or another Val. Okay. Okay, Valentine. Forgive me for being presumptuous. But presumptuous. Fireside chat tonight. We've been working actually, Tara. I can't say we. I've done a little bit. Tara's done a lot. Oh, look at that green pigeon on the top of a dead tree. I shouldn't have said the name. I should have made you tell me the name. Teach you birds, because you've got to identify as many birds as possible for each of us presenters next cycle, where we're having a bit of a race. No, not a race, a competition. Even at that distance, you can't mistake that pigeon. It's called a green pigeon. So next cycle, when we come back from leave in October, end October, going throughout the whole of November, we're going to be having a checklist competition, and that is going to be one of the harder birds to find because they live amongst the vegetation in the jackalberry trees mostly, and they're green like the leaves, so they're hard to see. Red feet, red beak, quite pretty pigeons. Green pigeon. Sorry, Valentine, I was interrupted by a pigeon. But yes, we're having a fireside chat tonight. We're going to chat about things. Don't know what things. We'll see when we get to be chatting about them. And we're going to come back from drive at about 6:30 and finish setting up what we can, because there are a couple of things that have to go from the vehicle, have to go off into the FC to give you picture and sound. And at 7 o'clock is when we should start fireside chat, inshallah, you know, all running smoothly and all. Okay, so now that we couldn't find these cats, Ephraim couldn't find the others, but maybe we'll just go and look, because I was there long after him and I know more or less what kind of direction they were heading. So we'll go and look for those cats too, and from there we're going to go and have a look at what are we walking here? From that might be why, no, I don't think so. Probably would have seen them. From there we're going to go and look at a tree, special tree, a treat of a tree. Hello Franklins. Had a strong northeasterly wind. Tony, I have remembered, we're going to look at these cats, we're going to see if these cats are here, because those cats weren't, and if these cats are here, we're just going to say hello to them and also leave them till a little bit later when they wake up and start moving about. And then from there, Tony, we're going straight to the sausage tree. I have something I want to say. Of course, fireside chat depends on many things. You know, if we're sitting with cats this evening and things are happening with cats this evening, I'm sorry, I'm throwing fireside chat out the window, because I'd rather sit with cats if they're active and they're doing things like hunting or eating or killing or interacting or something. It's got to be far better than Tara, Seb and I sitting around a fire talking about stuff. We could just make that tomorrow or something. Sure. Very bright sunshine. At what stage? Hello Shelby, by the way. I think this is Shelby, who I might have found on Facebook, one of my recent ads. Shelby. Of course, Shelby obviously must get a lot of I think we just gone past it. Open it up a bit. But we're just going, we're going to change direction now. So we're looking into the sun. That's why it's looking a bit bright. Shelby, a question about hyena. I'm not too sure what you mean. At what age does the female get rid of? Okay, sorry, you've got to read it to me again. I've been concentrating on this turn off. What is the mother? get rid of the weaker pup to ensure a stronger pack. It's not really the mother that gets rid of a weaker pup in the hyena, it's siblicide. It's the firstborn female that would probably be the first one to kill off its siblings. I don't know, Shelby, if you could maybe rephrase that somehow. But as far as I know, it's not an easy one to answer because there aren't that strict rules as far as how hyena society works. I mean, there's certain things that are, most definitely, but just the hyena activity that we see and a few other things, that it largely hinges on the whole hyena population, the density of the population, the competition available. I mean, we're seeing several ages of pups in the den, and I never thought that was possible. Okay, I think this is more or less where they were moving to. Minerva, very good question. Why are the lions' pupils, lions and the big cats, their pupils round, and the domestic cat it's oval? Often in nature, when you ask a question why, and you start trying to analyze it in terms of perhaps the what you're observing, making logical deductions, you can come to conclusions. I mean, that's how nature is. There's a lot of stuff that just watching and looking and thinking a little bit about it, you can come to some sort of conclusion that might be accurate, might not. But often it also takes a long time. It takes a lot of observing and trying to figure things out. That's one of those questions that's a hard one to answer. What I can tell you is when you're looking at a domestic cat, and maybe because it's the size of the cat and the way the brain works, the way the cat works more than anything else, and some of the other smaller cats, I'm not sure how many of them there are that have vertical pupils that close vertically and are oval rather than the round eye that closes like the aperture of a camera. Pupils that close into a slit. When you look at that slit compared to the slit of the eyelid, when the pupil opens, the eye opens. When it's dark, the pupil will open, and so will the eyelid, and that will allow a lot more light in. So it's almost the same concept as the shutter of a camera, or the aperture of a camera, just that in the big cats it works small, like our pupil, small to large at night and small during the day, and then they can close their eyes. That add as sort of another aperture filter. Somehow with domestic cats, with a vertical pupil and then the horizontal eyelids, they can vary the amount of light going into their eye. But then we've got to figure out why that is. Why would domestic cats and the smaller cats need that and the bigger cats not? Might have something to do with, I don't know, I was going to say being active diurnal or nocturnal. Maybe being nocturnal, they need a rounder pupil for nocturnal vision, and domestic cats coming from cat stock that are supposed to be nocturnal. So Minerva, that's a good one to contemplate. It's a good one to think about. But I don't know if I can answer that right now, because because it's something that's been brought up on a number of occasions by a number of viewers. It's also something that I've been faced with, asked by guests in the past, and maybe there's a scientific explanation, but sometimes you don't need science. Sometimes if we just sort of think about these things, we can maybe come to some sort of a conclusion. So once again, these cats were here. They moved sort of towards the east, and I'm looking for perhaps the best bit of shade, the most likely spot that a lion and two lionesses would curl up in for the heat of the day. There aren't that many good trees here, so they might have actually taken a long walk somewhere. A little patch of shade here on our right. Mary Jane from Florida. The perfect question for my standard answer. Mary Jane is asking, do the animals sleep for long periods or do they just nap? And there, Mary Jane, it all comes down to one answer or one question that I have to ask you. It depends on what animal you're talking about. Predators are different. The predators have one dynamic. The prey species, all the herbivores, have their own dynamics as far as sleeping is concerned. And there again, you've got to split it up into categories. Are we talking about animals that are diurnal or nocturnal? Because you find that some animals that are strictly diurnal or strictly nocturnal, they have very strict, what we call diurnal rhythms of sleep patterns that they will engage in. Things like warthog and baboon that don't come out at night and they go to sleep, and they don't really stir during the night, so they get to have a kind of a sleep that we humans know about, because we're primates as well anyway. Then you get some animals like impala and kudu and stuff, those herbivores and giraffe. A lot of the herbivores can't really afford to sleep. They can't even really afford to maybe nap, because, okay, it's time to get out of here. This is just needle in a haystack stories. So let's make our way out, and maybe these cats will pop out somewhere later today, but certainly not around right now. Well, not anywhere we can find them. It's not that I didn't trust Ephraim, it's just that Ephraim was with them in a different place. By the time I got to them and I was one of the last with them, they had moved a considerable distance. So I just thought that maybe if we came back to where we last saw them, maybe we'd have a better chance than Ephraim, but it didn't really happen that way. We left and they were almost on this termite mound, just going back where we just come from. They might have even crossed Zoe's road at some point. So off to the Kigelia, go and see some flowers in this late afternoon light. So, Mary Jane, depends on what animal it is. Julie in Indiana. Hello, Julie. If I don't want to do the chicken dance, I can make up another one, call it the Ellie dance. No, look, it's fireside chat tonight. You never know what might happen. You never know. I didn't promise. Sorry, Shelby, in a minute. But I didn't really promise, but I said we hit 1,000 viewers. When it was last weekend or something. Okay, but I didn't say promise. You see? Tara in my ear. Remember, okay. But anyways, I was saving it up. I mean, how else are we going to get numbers to come to the fireside chat other than to say Mark's going to do the chicken dance? Oh, there's the gymnogene. Harrier hawk. I saw a big bird and I wondered what it was, but I just seen it. African harrier hawk. I wonder if it's a juvenile that's finally getting its adult colors. The juvenile used to hang out here, stealing geckos and baby squirrels. It's flown off down towards the open area. There it is. Just left this marula tree. Flying towards Zoe's road. I will find you, because you're quite a distinct bird, and you know, I'm following you. It was the other day, it was being discussed that the family killed a weaker pup, and Shelby wants to know at what age and why. When there's a very strong competition in a hyena den, Shelby, it's almost like the siblicide you get in an eagle's nest. That a dominant cub, well, in an eagle's nest, 2 chicks might hatch, but the stronger, the older, the firstborn chick will probably, well, no, not probably, but in some species it actually has to happen, and it does happen, that the chick kills its sibling, because then it gets a greater chance of survival. It's a greater chance. It gets all the food, doesn't have to share mother and the parents' attention. It gets all the food, all the attention, and it's kind of a trade-off, because if they're two chicks and the parents are raising 2 chicks and one of them dies, they could maybe then raise 2. But if the chick kills the other chick and they only have the 1 chick to raise, if that chick dies or is killed, then that's really putting all your eggs in one basket type of thing. And this gymnodine just flew across our bow. There it is. It's in that marula tree, hanging upside down, but it's at the back. And this bird is famous for doing what it is doing right now. The squirrels are going berserk because it's probably raiding squirrel nests, bird nests. You can just see its wings. It's probably got its feet in a hole as I speak. Got an incredible ankle joint that can bend through an extra 30 degrees or so, that allows it to put its leg into the hole in a tree and feel around at weird angles that no other bird is able to do, and it pulls things out with its feet and devours them. There you can see those lovely long legs. Very striking bird. It's in a class of its own. It's not a hawk, it's not an eagle, it's not a vulture. Its scientific name is Gymnogyps, and up until now it was called the gymnogene. Now it's known as the African harrier hawk, but it is neither harrier nor hawk. And I don't know, to me the sound of gymnogene was just kind of special. It reflected its status of being a raptor in a class of its own. I'm going to see if we can get to a view. Oh, it's just there. That should be perfect. Oh man, look at that yellow face. Adept in trees, on cliff faces, anywhere where there are nests and holes and crevices that are inaccessible to other predators. This particular bird has incredible access to those places based on its ability to hang upside down, to use its wings for balance. And there we might even get to see right now how it puts its first, the head goes in. Pretty brave, stick your head in a hole like that. I wouldn't even put my hand in a hole like that, let alone my head.
So, what a bird.
It is quite a bird. That white barring on the tail, very distinct, very characteristic, or even diagnostic for this.
One of his feathers.
You want one?
Yeah.
Okay, oh, lock the camera, go fetch one. If you put salt on his tail, you can catch him.
Where's he gone?
He's gone to another tree. We could probably follow it around the open area through all those marulas today. Probably what it's doing on quarantine, the open area. We might catch it. Oops. There it is in that marula now. No, it's a rain tree. And that apple leaf. Look, yeah, it's destroying a nest. Pulling out all the nesting material. Just want to know if anybody saw any elephants today. I heard some elephants north of the dam. Just curious if anybody was on Jimmer Waterhole Cam, if any of the Zoomies are watching. Let me know what you found at the dam today. Okay, let's move on. I could spend an afternoon watching this bird. He is really incredible. We'll be going from tree to tree. In fact, whoever is Zoomy this afternoon, watch it. Keep an eye out when you start hearing alarm calls at Gowrie Dam. It's not going to be long before this bird gets there, and it's going to probably be hanging about the dam. It's definitely going to be drinking. It's using a lot of energy now. It's a hot afternoon, and it will go down to drink a little bit later. Amazing having a bird like that in our midst. So where were we? Can't remember. Okay. Let's go. You have to give it to me again because I need to think about it. Hello, Ed. Oh, look, there's Billy, no friends. He's lost his friend. Our wildebeest bull lying up on the... I don't know, maybe the other bull's still around. I need to go and see. I tried to start up with them this afternoon, and then we didn't have sound, and it was one of those afternoons. And we need to see if he's got a scar on his rump, if it's our wildebeest, or whether it's the one that came in, the male that came in, and he's now taken over. I'd like to think it's still Billy, Willy, Wally. Billy, Willy, Wally. Billy, Willy, Wally, the wildebeest. Tara's saying she likes Billy. He's a Billy no mate. Something you've got to be from England to understand. No, that's true. That's why I say you've got to be from England. Tara's saying everybody I've asked from England understands, and that's true. First thing I asked Becky when she came was, or maybe it was Becky, even it was Becky who was here that even knew what we were talking about from the beginning. I didn't know. Okay, so Shelby, at what age? That's what we were on. And then Ed Daves asked a question about the hyena, that young hippo, and whether that was an example of natural selection when that young hippo was ousted. To a large extent it was, but you have to remember that is the natural that's the natural sort of behavior of hippos, that young bulls are moved on. Warthog family. As far as I know, very often with siblicide with hyenas, that the sibling, it actually happens at a very young age. It happens sort of within days of birth. It's not like wild dog. Wild dog are different. You know, wild dog, you'll have a situation where amongst the pack, when the pups are all scrambling for food and stuff, that sometimes they will find a weaker, the rest of the pups will find a weaker one. And sorry, I just saw something. The younger ones will find a weaker pup, and then they'll all gang up on it, and eventually they'll kill it. Nothing. It looked like a leopard on that termite mound. See what I mean?
Where?
On that termite mound, it looks like a young leopard's head, but it's not. It's just a tuft of grass that's shaped the right way.
It's like 2 years.
Yeah, like 2 ears.
Small head though.
Very small head. It would have been a very small leopard.
Like a baby leopard.
Yeah.
Baby leopard's good.
It's okay. I think I need new glasses. Don't rub it in. That was that. If that was a young, that was like, if that was something, you would have said, amazing spot.
Yeah. Spot of the year.
Spot of the year. Okay, so where are we? I think we pretty much covered that. Leanne from Florida. Oh, little squirrel, you better hide in that hole, because that, look, see that hole there? That's, you can see a little squirrel in there. That gymnogene, if it finds that hole and there's something in it, whatever's in it would be best out of it. Yeah, you, squirrel. Youngster.
Two of them.
Two of them. Sorry, Tara, please go again. Leanne in Florida. Okay. Hello, Leanne from Florida. Saying with only the three of us doing drives twice a day, every day, when do we get time off and what do we do? Well, I'm not going to speak for Tara and Seb. You'd have to ask them the same question when they're on drive. But in the heat of the day, around lunchtime, we get an hour or so to put our feet up. And we work a 6-week period, and then we're going to take 2 weeks off. So come the end of this month, it'll be 6 weeks since we were running Juma Live drives, and we're going to take 2 weeks off, and we're going to miss you all terribly for 2 weeks. We're going to all three of us, don't know what we're going to do with ourselves for 2 weeks. We're going to be sitting twiddling our thumbs, just itching to get back on the vehicle to come back and do drives for the next 6-week period. No, seriously, because the next 6-week period after that 2-week leave is going to be, we're going to have this competition to see who can count the most species. But when I'm on leave for those 2 weeks, I go home, and home is not far from here, and I take the doors and I take everything off my Land Rover so that it looks like this, and I go out driving looking for animals every day. It's quite amazing. You should try it. I go game drives, and I take photographs of it. Insects are going to be out, and reptiles, and I'll be filming things. I enjoy filming wildlife, so that's what I'll do for my 2 weeks off. A little bit different from what I do every day. Might have a visitor or two. Wow. Excuse me, little dove, Shivambalana. I want to show you something from this distance already. Look how green that is. Look at that. Even in one day, because the leaves weren't even that big this morning, Terry, down in the bottom of the dip, at Philemon's Dip, is a bright green tree. Bright green. And that is the sausage tree. And in less than a week, it has got flowers and leaves. Actually, it's just more than a week. But in less than a day, even this morning it was still a little bit bare. Let's just roll down that way. Even this morning, I don't think those leaves were that big or that dense. Roller coaster. Whee! Kudu. The sun glistening off of his horns. No. What?
We're not gonna see him nicely, yeah.
Not gonna see him nicely. Still get a little bit of the sun. There's another one crossing, is probably going to the sausage tree to eat its leaves. It's a bit of a noise down there because the pump is running, pumping water to the lodge. No, we don't see him nicely, but we... Oh, you got ND filter on.
Yeah.
We might get to see that other bull. There's a third one coming across the road now. Come. Right, well, while he's not coming this way. Hello, Mr. Kudu. He's going to run across the road now, probably, because we're approaching him. But I don't think at this... There we go. Now he's going to come into the road. Not a very big bull. Got a very narrow spread to his horns. The one that we've just seen, his horns are quite wide. Probably only about a 4-year-old bull. 3-year-old, I'd say. With 1.5 twists. Halfway to his full, maybe 3 twists at 6 years old. Look at this tree, it's looking beautiful. The reason why we look at this tree, because it's the only specimen of its type, of its kind here at Djuma. There aren't any other sausage trees. There are a couple, there's some small ones in the lodge. Hello, kudu bulls. And now we're going to start losing the flowers, well, losing our sight of the flowers. Okay, kudu bulls are running through the grasses. Can't even see a flower from here. Let me see if I can find one on the floor. Okay, let's just move away from the pump and we can talk about it a little bit. Ephraim, come in. Okay, I don't know, Terry, if you notice much of a difference. I mean, for me it's a huge difference, and I've been watching it almost every day. At least, well, 2 days out of 3, because I'm out 2 days out of 3, so I've been watching it quite closely. In fact, we've been watching it ever since it started losing its leaves a month ago. But it's going to be going through some amazing changes. Our mornings are best to watch the birds on it, and maybe with one of these mornings we'll come and watch the birds on it next week maybe. Well, we don't have much more time. By next week it'll be reaching its probably full blooming potential. That's a water pump, by the way, bringing water from what we call a borehole or an underground well, and it's using a centrifugal pump. Right, so let me just find out from Ephraim, come in. Busy tracking something. We're going to go back down towards Gowrie Dam, Juma Waterhole, look around that area, see if there's any sign of anything. I don't know if anybody's come back of saying there's elephants or anything. That is an incredible change. Who was that? Terry? No, I didn't get the name. Oh, Tony. Sorry, Tony, not Terry. Sorry, Tony. Tony with an I. What else we can find. But yes, it's been a remarkable change daily. I remember getting excited when I saw the first flower about 6 days ago, and then suddenly the first leaf came out, and now it's like leaves and flowers. And a lot of animals are very active at the base of that tree because these flowers are very, very tasty. And we're going to have nyala, bushbuck. I'm sure those kudu are probably going to be, if I didn't go there, the kudu would have. The kudu would have found what I'm about to show you now. Fresh green leaves. Okay, this is a departure from my norm. Okay, this is not, the ladies are included, but this is actually very special for today because today is a day when our world changed dramatically. Everything in our world changed. I know we've gone past the time, and there's probably a lot of people that are busy with a memorial service now at Ground Zero and what have you. But ten years ago, I was visiting with my parents. Actually, I wasn't visiting. I was staying with them. I turned the storeroom into a bedroom. I put in some carpeting. I went out and bought furniture, and I had come back from East Africa because I was going through a medical thing, and I was stuck in the city for a while, and I'd bought myself a computer that was supposedly going to be helping me see my days through of living in the city and see if I could do something with the computer. But anyways, I remember it was around about 3 o'clock in the afternoon or so for us, and I had bought what is called a TV card for the computer. So basically I didn't have a TV set, but what I could do is I could with a TV card on the computer, I could plug in a TV aerial and I could get local television. And one of our local TV stations, in between its programming, its evening programming or morning program, would just play CNN. And it was live CNN. It was a novelty for me because I'd been living in East Africa. I'd been out of world circulation for years. I hadn't known. I mean, there was so much that had happened in the late 90s that I never knew about. But I became a news freak, and I used to have CNN playing on my computer. I could minimize it to a tiny little block in the corner and have Larry King in the tiny corner chatting to his. I digress. But I'd just come back from a doctor's appointment, and I walked into my room and I moved the mouse to open up the screen, and CNN was on, and there was smoke coming out of a tower, and as I switched it on, there was live footage of the second plane hitting or something like that, and my brain didn't register. My brain couldn't quite figure out what was going on. I was thinking, how could they be playing a movie in the middle of the day? And of course I suddenly then realized that this was happening. My parents were both home. I think they were going to some function for, it could have been Rotary, it could have been something, because they were all getting dressed up. But I remember calling them in to look at this, and one of the most vivid memories that I have was saying that from today the world has changed, and it did. Our world changed dramatically from that day, and from then to now, in 10 years, I mean, we've got to think it's not only those souls that were lost on that day in the different sites around the States, but it's everybody that has died since as a result of all of that. I mean, we've got probably servicemen from so many different countries that have served in Afghanistan and Iraq that have lost their lives. There have been more people that have lost their lives because of that. I don't want to turn this into too much of a thing, but I do have to say this, and I feel strongly about it because I've got friends that were so affected by it. One never forgets. One never can forget. One never should forget. I think the only thing that one can that's consoling is the fact that memories are always good and memories are always happy, and it's keeping memories alive of people. But yes, the world changed, and so these flowers are for today, the day the world changed 10 years ago. Nothing was the same again, and it's going to be a long time until we get this planet into a place, into our society into a place where we can feel comfortable again and not feel threatened. Sad, but that's life at the moment. But so, just a little thing to say, we're with you, we feel for you, and to everybody that's been affected by the 11th of September 2001, whatever country you live in, whatever your nationality, your religion, because everybody's been affected, every country. So today it's not just flowers for the ladies, it's flowers for all the souls. In the last 10 years, let's go down to Chelapan and see what we can find down this way. Sandra in Michigan wants to know when the dung beetles are going to be back. One of the things that prompts pupation of other dung beetles, Sandra, is thunderstorms. Apart from that, a lot of the dung beetles might have even pupated by now, but they are kind of trapped. Oh, there's something new. Both vultures on the nest. Especially those that are in balls that are made by the parents. They need not only the atmospheric pressure and that electric charge of energy that is caused by a thunderstorm, but they need the moisture of the rain to soften everything so that they can pupate out of their chambers. It's not only the dung beetles, but it's all the other insects as well. There's a lot of alarming going on around here in different places, to our left, to our right. A lot of alarming. But both adults on the nest, it'd be interesting to see if there's any sign of a little head sticking up. We're waiting to see that. I wonder why these birds are going so crazy. One of these days we should see a little head. Especially when both adults are on the nest like that, it should be begging for food, so maybe it's still an egg. Okay. White-backed vultures on a nest in a jackalberry tree. And slender mongoose at the base of that jackalberry tree next to the water. Is it or is it a squirrel? No, it's a slender mongoose eating something. And it looks like it's got a tail.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's interesting. He's lost his tail, most of his tail. Slender mongoose normally has a very long tail with a little black tip to it. And that child seems to have lost it. It looks like it's got a little bit of a... his left leg looks like it's a little bit awkward as well. I'm just going to the toilet now. Doesn't know it's being watched, of course. Definitely a little bit of a handicapped child. That could be why the birds were shouting on that side, but it doesn't explain why the birds were shouting on this side. Oh, hello, Penny. Penny and Derbs. Palm-nut vultures nesting in Westville. I knew that palm-nut vultures occurred up to Sodwana Bay and stuff, but I didn't know they were that far south. What an amazing vulture, the palm-nut vulture. They're like a vegetarian vulture, almost. And I can hear a spookfowl, grey-headed bush shrike, and its ghostly call. Penny, thanks. And also Penny has a harrier hawk in her garden, and it wraps its wings around the nesting boxes, the artificial nesting boxes that she's put up for the black-collared barbets. Trying to get at them. I used to watch a lot of palm-nut vultures in East Africa because they were a lot more common up there, and I don't think I've ever seen palm-nut vultures in South Africa. but they do occur along our eastern coast, and they mostly eat the heart of the, well not, yeah, well the heart of the palm nuts, the doom palms, and well mostly the doom palms, the lala palms. They do eat fish, and they do eat. Oh, interesting. Who are you? No better say it was a big male leopard that was walking here quite recently, heading towards the dam. Joe was on. Is that Joe? Joey. Hello, Joey P. Can mongoose climb trees? Yes, they can. I haven't seen the likes of banded mongoose or dwarf mongoose climb trees much, mostly because they forage on the ground and they dig for stuff. But the slender mongoose, on the other hand, I've seen the slender mongoose climb trees and raid birds' nests. And they're quite good tree climbers. I'm just thinking, we've got leopard tracks here heading north up towards Gary Dam. I'm wondering if this might not be one of the big boys. That might have been why. Having come through there, heading up towards, that might have been, that's why everything was making a noise. Might have had nothing to do with the mongoose. So let's see. Ephraim, come in. There's a lion here now. Lioness. But that might have been from the Tsalala. No. Fire station, could I get an update, please? Get a fun time. Nobody out. Okay. Oh, there's quiet afternoons. Yes, sorry, Sarah. Open. Open. Taurus wants to open. Tired by here. Take. Hello, little Dacre. Why are you? Hello, Roy. Having survived hurricanes and tropical storm, I think Dacre was really running away from anything other than us. Roy wants to know why we find porcupine quills, but we don't find porcupines. Mostly because, Roy, porcupines are clever little rodents. Actually, they're not so little. They're the biggest rodents we get here. But they're nocturnal, and we have seen some porcupines. Funny enough, after we close down at night, we sometimes see them, and around the lodge. Tonight might be the night we see a porcupine. There was a night, I think it was Daniel was still here. Daniel and I ended off a drive. We were coming down Gallagher shortcut, and there was a moment. What?
It was me.
Was it you? Sorry, Seb.
The mom, dad, and the babies.
The mum, dad, and the baby.
Yeah.
Sorry, Seb. It was Seb. It wasn't Daniel. That's something to see, mum and baby porcupine. Very different to the North American porcupine. They got a lot of quills on. A lot more quills, a lot sharper quills. You can't handle an African porcupine like you can a North American porcupine. tracks must be the tracks of the Talalas, and they came in the other night. Came up Twin Dams Road. Randy in Texas, there's a very good question. The roads here at Juma, are they planned by humans and the animals just use them? Or calling Marco Jacques? Marco Jacques. Okay, I'm that one. Thanks, Jacques. Yeah, I'll keep an ear out for that. I'm at Gary Dam at the moment. We'll maybe keep in touch if they cross north. I confirm Mvula's landering that bird. Did you say just a female ostrich? Okay, yeah, no, coming through a bit broken, but yeah, I'll keep track of that. Thanks. Any other update for the afternoon? Okay, we looked for that Ingwe and that Ngala, but they might have moved a little bit. We'll go back maybe when it cools down. How's it, Ryan? If I follow them, it's a Mvula and a female from the Mala called ostrich corpus. Oh, okay. I wasn't copying Jacques. They were following an ostrich. Yeah, please do, and then I'll try and join you if they come across. Okay, let's go. Mvula and a female leopard that are coming across from the south. I think the female is from up Gary, Maine. Let's go back down Twin Dams Road. Okay, this might be a little bit of a... I'm at Gary Dam, Dawn. About to head south, and I don't know which Dawn that is. Is that Dawn as in Louisiana? So Dawn. It is. Dawn, you must have missed us because we were talking about your package before, and I got that email and we've been thanking you, and we're just keeping one of the hand sanitizers that Dawn sent us for those times when we're handling dung, gets kept in the vehicle. And Dawn sent us a bunch of stuff. Thank you, Dawn. Really, thanks a lot. Haven't managed to thank you on here yet because the times we did, you weren't with us. But we Gary Dam, we're heading south down Twin Dams Road. We just come north up Twin Dams Road. So Lenda Mongoose ran across the road. So we're just backtracking because Mvula's coming up this way, and he's with a female from way down south. It's a female that's never even been seen in this part of the world. It's just known as the ostrich corpus female. That's why I thought he was saying that they were following an ostrich. Broken telephone. I mean, that's how messages get all mixed up.
I was like, oh, nice, we're gonna see an ostrich this afternoon.
Okay. Julia. Have we got African wild dogs? we're making a bit of a mistake, but we'll just have to. What are these things with a leopard on our boundary that's coming across from another area that has already a number of vehicles with it, and there are a number of landowner vehicles out, and there's been nothing seen this afternoon. So of course the first thing that is seen, the first thing that comes in over the radio, it's like a magnet for vehicles. But my madness is we'll go and see Mvula, we'll have a quick look, we'll have to move on because other vehicles will want to come in, but then we're going to come back and look for lion and other leopards, and then we'll see. I guess we're not going to maybe find elephant this afternoon. It's an exciting afternoon. Sunday, 11/9/11. Springtime for us. We've got a fireside chat this evening, 7 o'clock. Hopefully everything will be set up by then. We are going to have to test equipment. I'm starting to think, Seb, that maybe your idea was better anyway.
Sorry?
I'm starting to think that maybe with the way we are with cables, using the vehicle rather than setting up at the fire with mine.
Quicker.
It's quicker, and it means that we don't have to. Well, it's just that we don't have to unplug the cables and put them back in and change all the settings on the camera and change all the settings on. We don't have to change any settings. We don't have to take any cables out and put them back afterwards. And these cables are not behaving properly anyway. I was against it from the beginning because I wanted fireside chat to be where we have fireside chats. And my Land Rover is not moving anywhere to make a fire with my. You can't make a fire under my Land Rover either.
It's fine, we'll use your Land Rover as Tinder.
And you'll use my Land Rover as tinder for the fire. Thanks, Seb. Yeah. But no, fire's been started. We're going to stick to our guns on this one. My problem is that I drive slowly, and in the time that I'm driving, other vehicles are racing there, and we might not even get there to see it. But we'll see.
Sorry, man, I'm here.
I see. Still alarm calls out here. Ryan, I'm still on Spaghetti Junction. If someone's there before me, they can pull in. I'm thinking that somehow maybe I think that that female leopard is turned off. I don't know, we'll see when we get there. Karula's not going to be happy about her being here. She's still there with him. Okay. Got a few hundred yards. Might have a question or two to come in before then. Otherwise, then when we're with the leopards, might not be question friendly. going for? I'm an elephant skull. Yeah, no, you go. Okay. Sorry, what's it, Tara? Yeah, we're gonna have to hold back a little bit because there are 3 vehicles there with those leopards, and you see, I won't rush, and so although I was probably the first to respond, it's all got to do with who's there first. So we'll just hang back a little bit until it's time. Answer some questions, talk to you a little bit. So, yeah, questions if you can.
We've got 3 stations of this built now. What's your plan? Well, just hang around here for a while. What's going on? We've got 3 vehicles. Do you want one of us to call back? Don't worry.
Hey, Ryan, I'm leaving the area. You see on? Big male giraffe across the drainage line. Let's go and look for those other cats. Really, as much as I want to see Mvula, there's often a bit of a clash, not clash, I wouldn't put it as a clash, but with a number of vehicles all having access to common ground. It's common ground between lodges plus landowners that just arrive at sightings. I don't want to compound the issue by being there, so we're just moving up towards Treehouse Dam. Let's go along Zoe's Road. Let's see if we can see whether these lion have moved somewhere or not. Zoe's Road up to Impala Plains, and then we'll go and look for the cubs. Karula might be coming back to find them. So Tara was going to give me a question. No, I'm not getting that, I'm sorry. Elephant Skull Road, it's just hissing more than getting you. I heard Teresa and Hornbills, and I can only guess Teresa's asking about nests. But let's get to a better signal and I can get that question. But hornbills are not nesting yet, if that's what the question is. I remember finding a nest, I think it was last year. We'll keep our eye out for hornbills that appear to be making plans to nest. And also for the weavers, Teresa, when they start doing their thing. More lion print. Not a very big female either. I wonder. Ephraim coming? Never mind. Must have been from the Talalas. Coming up both Twin Dams and Weaver's Nest. Or first one, then the other. Sorry, I'm not copying you, Tara. buffalo. The other boys are back. Couple below the damn wall, one on the wall. Where are you off to, Monsieur Leboeuf? Yeah, he's a big boy, this. Wow. 800 kilograms worth of buffalo. Look how deep his chest is. Try now while I'm switched off to raw. Yeah, I can pick it up by the horns. Corny. These are some big boys. Nowhere near as heavy chested as the one that we saw first. He's kind of in the middle, this one. Ever present oxpeckers. Okay, let's move on. No, not here. Gee, that's really bad. Whatever you did with the radio now, it's like noise. Okay. There's the pink-nosed bull. Yeah. We don't have the judge anymore. The one buff bull that we do have, that's a very distinct, and even this one that's got the really short. He's always a little bit cocky and strapless and funny. That one has got a very short curl to his horns. The one at the back has just run away. But that one, yeah.
He's got what?
His horns are very like that, very tight, small curl to them. They're like very close like that. And these other boys have all got a decent spread to their horns. But this boy, in front of him, look how shiny they are. Gee. Like he's been buffing them up today. When you've got a date this evening, Mr. Buff, you've got buffing up those horns. But the bull in front of him, he's got such a distinctive pink nose that we've seen him on a number of occasions. And he's going to just become a new character in our arsenal of characters. Pinky the pink-nosed buffalo, or should we call him, well, can't be Rudolph because he hasn't got a red nose, although summer's coming and it might get a bit sunburnt. Just lacks pigment in his nose. Okay, pink-nosed buffalo. Don't know what we should call him. Percy the pink-nosed buffalo. Percy Pink. Dunno. Maybe we just call him the pink-nosed buffalo. Yoga. I'm on Philemon's cut line heading up towards Zoe's Road. Too much chaos there. So what's happening there? At Twin Dam. Okay, copied. And anybody located those in Gala? Understand. Anyways, I've got to think of something. I've got to make a decision now. There are a lot of vehicles that want to go to those leopards. I mean, the guys from as far away as in Koro calling in to come and see those and wanting to be part of that's okay. One of those things. Maybe tomorrow. Who's driving tomorrow? It's Tara.
Yeah, tomorrow, yeah, it's Tara.
Tara, maybe if Mvula's still around tomorrow, Tara will be lucky. But I had to find something else to do for a while because there were already vehicles with other vehicles on standby, and now, by the distance that I am, if I start making my way back there, by the time I get back there, there are going to be other vehicles that are going to be... So, I've never really liked to respond to that kind of sighting because I know it becomes a bit of a shuffle of vehicles. The reason is, you see, folks, we can't crowd these animals. And the only way we can observe these animals and have them as relaxed as they are is by limiting the number of vehicles and also the time that each vehicle can spend with it, because when there are a number of different vehicles and a lot of paying guests that want to see these animals, remember, you can tune in and we can see these animals almost any day. For a lot of people, they're paying a lot of money to fly to Africa. They've got one opportunity to see, and a lot of times, especially when it's here on Djuma and the other vehicles don't really have traversing here, then I don't mind making sure that we're part of it. But unfortunately, where it is, there are other vehicles that have access to it as well as the Djuma vehicles, which means that there's a lot of interest in people viewing those leopards. I do now. Ah, Brandy, the roads. Yes, I don't know. I think I was distracted by the radio calling me. And then all this whole leopard thing came about. Brandy, some of the roads, there are a few roads that were originally animal paths that became roads, and some of the roads were put in and planned by people. So it's a little bit of both. I'd actually have to speak to the owner, Yuri, and find out how he came about a number of these roads, where they placed, and the names. I mean, we're now on Philemon's cut line. Philemon was somebody that worked here for a long time. We're turning onto Zoe's road. Zoe's the daughter of the owners. She's a teenager. And her sister Rebecca. There's also Rebecca's road. A bit of both, Brandy. I know, you take Mvubu Road. Mvubu Road was originally a hippo path. And there are a couple of roads. There's that other part, that other road that goes, Hippo Pools Road, that goes up from Buffelshoek Dam. It was also a hippo pathway that became a road. So for something, there's more leopard tracks. Maybe Karula's on this road heading back towards her youngsters. What can I say? I don't know the full history of the roads here. Yeah. I only got the beginning of that. I don't know what it is, but the crackling is really powerful. But Teresa, that's not. Ariel's fine. Teresa. We've seen some other hornbill nests, red-billed, yellow-billed. Hello, Teresa. Have we ever seen a ground hornbill nest? No. It'd be nice to find one. In fact, oh, hello, one-horned impala. Haven't seen you before. Maybe we have. Actually, I think we have broken his other horn right down at the base. Hello, boys. But females kicking you out because their babies are due soon. Too boisterous for them. Hello, boys. Hello, boys. No leopard this way today, huh? Gee, aren't you lucky? Little bee eater. Teresa, we haven't yet found a ground hornbill nest here. I was thinking we were getting quite close with the ground hornbills we were seeing earlier in the season. At the end of summer, we were seeing them quite a bit, but didn't find their nest. Not easy to find a ground hornbill nest. It takes very special big trees with very big holes in them to have a hornbill nest. Okay, so now it is time. The time has come. It is cooling down considerably. The sun is but a little orange spot on the horizon, trying to break through the moon that is rising. Another important thing today that I wanted to mention, it's not quite full moon yet, but it's going to be in a few hours, because the sun is still up and the moon is up, so the two of them have to be 180 degrees for it to be exactly full moon. But the moon is coming. We're going to stop and see a lovely pink moon. For you, for some people, they call it a harvest moon this time of the year. Autumn moon. I don't know what it's called here in Africa. Just a beautiful moon. There's really beautiful colors at the moment. Maryland in California. Hello, Maryland. Are there any animals equally as threatened as the rhino? Threatened by what, Maryland? Is it threatened by poaching or threatened with extinction? Because there are a number of animals that are more threatened than the rhino. The rhino is actually not that threatened at the moment. Look at this color. Absolutely gorgeous. full moon rising. The cream coloured knob thorns sticking out like sore thumbs. Another bachelor herd of impala. And that beautiful view from Zoe's Road looking over Philemon's Dip and beyond towards Cheetah Cut Line on just below the following the opposite ridge. Hello moon, my moon. But yes, Maryland, cheetah, wild dog, sable, well not, we don't really get sable here. Ground hornbills. Oh, there's a zebra. Saddle-billed storks, martial eagles, batelier. Maybe some of the bustards. Lion, maybe. Lion and not so much leopard. There are a number of animals that are more threatened if we're looking at their future as a species than the rhino. As I was saying, I've said before, the rhino population is fairly good at the moment. It is being hammered. The growth that we see in the rhino population is negated by all the poaching, and if the poaching could stop, there would be positive rhino growth. The populations of other things like wild dog and lion and some of the birds that I mentioned, they are far more threatened because their populations are on a decline. Okay, but we are losing light and we're going to look at the moon again shortly. We're going to just try and catch a bit of the sunset, and then I want to try and see a little bit of, with a little bit of light, see if we can find some tracks from some cats. Sometimes 3 hours goes by too quickly. Go ahead, Ephraim. Zoe's Road and Elliot Impala Plains. Okay, copy. I thought there were other stations coming in from other lodges. Yeah, I'll take my radio down for a bit. I'm on my way there now. Maybe you want to go and look at that other lock where that Ingwe was. But you're tired of Ingwe now. Okay, copy. Oh boy, alright, let's try and go back to those leopard. Linda saying pinky. Pink-snouted buffalo from Rosie, Percival, rosé like the wine. It's just a pink-nosed buffalo. Well, now I think it's settled for us. Nobody's whipped those leopards because they went into thick bush and nobody followed them. Oh boy. Okay. You have rangers meetings and you discuss rules, and then the day after the rangers meeting the rules go out the window. Actually, I think it's going to go a little bit further down. A really beautiful sunset. Just get... Hello Franklin. Going to touch the mountain any minute, the sun. Swainson's Franklin. Where would the best place for the sun to be? In the middle of those two, or just where it is? It's going to hit the mountain any second now. Be funny if it bounced back up again. Yeah, go.
You still with that Ingwe?
I didn't go to those Ingwe.
Okay, thank you. Brahman,
Beautiful sunset. Just look at these Franklins quickly before we move on, if we can, before it gets too dark. Catching the last bit of seed picking before it's bedtime. What are you killing there, Mr. Franklin? Okay. Any guesses? Let's go. Very easy. Red eye, red face. Excuse me, children. Oh, another two. There's another pair of them right in front of me. What's up, Clovers? Such beautiful moon rising too. Okay, up Impala Road. We'll go and have a look. If we don't find iron, we'll go look for leopards. The sun goes down so quickly. Oh, speaking of quills, it's broken. Been driven over. Got a porcupine quill. The porcupine quill in the road is a good thing because it tells us where there's been some porcupines. So have a look maybe later. Or tomorrow night, or the next night. One of these days we'll find a porcupine, one of these days we'll find a honey badger. We're bound to see some special things. That's why we're here every day. Because every day there's a likelihood of seeing something extraordinary. So far we've had awesome sunset and a really extraordinary moonrise. But well, the moon's going to get brighter and bigger and beautiful tonight. I want to see a leopard in a tree with the moon behind it tonight. Now. Soon, like if we don't find a lion, we'll go and see a leopard. Of giraffe tracks, and young giraffe too, quite close to the lion. On this day, hello Diane, I will hear the young giraffe at the tracks that I just seen heading towards where the lion are. Children, we saw you the other day. A couple of mums further up. There's some big cats where you're going. I wouldn't really go there if I were you. Then I can't really tell you that. Because you don't really understand me. You might get a giraffe with the moon behind it. These three little ones. If they were adult giraffe, we'd see their heads where the moon is, but they're too short. Moon just above them, behind the tree. Diane wanting to know if we saw the archives from the dam this morning to know what that noise was. No, I haven't been able to, Diane. Apologies, but no, I haven't been able to do that yet. Another female deep in there. Another youngster and another female up ahead. Hello, little boy. Young male giraffe here. With his mother. Might be a mother. Even another female further in. So these giraffes are quite well spread out. You can already see that he's a little boy. His horns are quite thick. Although he's still a youngster. Already got thick horns. Now, his lion, if they're still around, might start getting interested. If they heard there was giraffe moving about. There, did you hear that?
Yeah.
See, giraffe do make a noise, almost like a horse noise, like a. Another female off to the left. So a lot of giraffe around, full moon, good hunting. It's a good place here for lion to maybe try for a giraffe, especially because they're young ones. This is a youngster, young female. Oh, there's that adult female, and then this young female. 2 plus those 3, 5, those 2, 7 plus those other 2, 9. That one makes 10. Okay, well we tried this, so let's try a little bit further down. Go in here somewhere. Hello, Tammy. Nice to hear from you. Tammy, we'll be heading off on, we'll be closing down on about the 29th, I think, for a couple of weeks. What? Okay. So, Tammy, yeah, 29th till about the 13th, we will be off. Off air. Well, Juma Waterhole cam will be up. Oops. Oops. bone in there. A couple of bones, a big shoulder blade from an old kill. Must have been a kill here once. Right, now. Not so hot, so maybe these cats are not so flat. Hello Deb, and I'm afraid there's some kudu, right? I'm afraid I can't really answer your question because I don't know. Deb wants to know how intelligent a zebra, how well can they problem solve. Deb, quite an intensive question, and I'm afraid I can't answer your question because I simply don't know. I don't know how one would measure the intelligence of zebra. Okay, we're almost on Zoe's road by now, so these cats might have already head that way, or there's kudu and giraffe up that way, and so these cats aren't there. Alright, we can just find a way out onto the road, look for tracks maybe. They might have also crossed through. I'm gonna go this way first, and then if we don't find anything by the time we get up that way, we'll go look for the leopard cubs. Who knows? We might come up empty-handed tonight, completely. From coming. Go.
Any likely?
No, not yet. I've come out onto Zoe's. Maybe they came onto Zoe's, but I'm not finding any Mkonzo. Where you going now?
Yeah, I'm in the Sakin here.
Where's Ngala for that Ngala sighting?
Yeah, the area was in Ghana. I'm checking inside here.
So yeah, I saw some nongo there, and there's some tlamiti, big group of tlamiti too. Also about 4 or 5 young giraffe. Ephraim's also looking back that way again. And I think it's time to turn around, because they haven't crossed this road. They might still be in this bush. If there's kudu and giraffe nearby, they might be keeping a low profile. Cats are very astute, and they pick up the sound of animals moving through the grasses. Those females are looking a little bit skinny, just hungry. Let's go back the other way. And what I'll do is try and pick up eyes. It's not dark enough yet, but the eyes might reflect if they're close to this road and they're looking our way. Donna in Missouri. Hello, what is the purpose of the poles we pass on the road? Well, those poles, and then sometimes we see the poles on Gary Main, the poles are power lines. They bring, well, it's only single phase electricity, it should be 3-phase, but it brings electricity to all the lodges. That's the way power comes in to the game reserve. They're called power lines. To be rhino proof, elephant proof. The wires have to be high enough that you're, on the heat of a summer's day when the wires are expanding, they don't drop down too low that giraffe can get affected by them. And well, one of those things you have to live with. Power line. So no questions this afternoon.
Sorry guys, we're going to change my stop. We're going to try and close out for the month.
Oh, for crying in a bucket. Nobody cares. not seeing anything here on this road that these cats have even crossed this road. So they might have even gone back to the west. Okay, I'm sure maybe the children will be up and about. If we're lucky. Gotta be lucky at least once today.
Oh, no, it's a hyena.
Hello, hyena. You're the one that was at the children this morning. Going back to the den to wake up the children. From come in. I got a console here on Ruiz Access, crossing over towards Gallagher shortcut. Just have a look next to the big marula on the junction with Zoe's Road. See what you think of that in Cornwall. Okay, copied. Okay, I'll go check on Gallagher. Now, those line tracks could probably more than likely be from him. It's males tracks that were crossing that road going towards where in fact going directly towards where the cubs are, believe it or not. Same sort of area. Davina, earlier this morning we were with Karula's cubs and there was a hyena and it wasn't even showing interest. They were showing more interest in the hyena than the hyena was showing in them. It's one of those, there's a bunch of impala, one of those times when hyena not going to it's Nyala, not impala. Hello Nyala, not going to shine on the Nyala though. Have we got cat traps here maybe? Hello little boy. But just saying, are they still too young to take the hyena down? I don't even think if they were adults they would take the hyena down. They might spit and try and intimidate it, but to attack a hyena, and there's always the possibility of getting injured yourself, and an injured predator, it might as well be a dead predator. Some cases. So to a large extent, Davina, they're not likely to even make or have a confrontation, a physical confrontation. If there was food, it might be a different story. If there was food, there might be spat over it, and in that case the leopard are more than likely to leave the food for the hyena. So the cubs were somewhere in here off to our left. I'm just going to go a little bit further and see what there's been. Warthog dung on the road. The warthog have gone home somewhere nearby. We're just going to go further up Gallagher shortcut and have a look. These cats, I'm sure, are going to end up close to the dam anyway after dark. Some of them. Vicky, New Mexico. Interesting. You're referring to this other little female leopard that's made an appearance. I didn't even know she existed. Never heard of her before. What makes a female leopard move so far out of her territory and out of her way? Estrus, looking for a mate. Probably one of the only things that will drive her far off of her territory, extend her home range. And probably the same reason why she's with Mahula. I don't know where her territory is. I don't know how far away it is. I would imagine it can't be that far, but it's more than likely she's in Estrus. She's looking for a mate, and no suitable males or mates where her territory is. I can only guess at that answer for you though, because not knowing her or not knowing where her territory is, I can't give you a very good idea, or rather a very clear answer. But I would imagine one of the only reasons that would drive a female is her pheromone or her hormones. Not pheromones, hormones. Cats have been walking up here. Who are you, little bird? Vivian. I don't know, shine on my back here, Sept. Dark patches under my collar.
What's wrong?
I don't know, I don't see anything there. Sorry, Vivian. Maybe there was an insect. Maybe it was an insect. Not there anymore. Maybe it's just my hair. Oh, that thing.
It's just a shadow.
It's just a shadow. I think it was just a shadow. Okay. Thanks, Vivian. No sign of cats this way. Hello, Ellen. Believes I have to go outside to shower, and what would happen if there was a creature on the path? Would I then not shower? My shower is sort of out. It's under the same roof as my room, but it's open on kind of 2.5 sides. But it's not outside. I go out my back door and I'm in my bathroom, so it's not. I have had showers and I have had bathrooms where I've had to walk outside to get to my bathroom, and I've often had to wait because there's lion or leopard outside. I haven't really bothered in the past when there's been elephants outside, because, well, don't mind about elephants. But no, this time where I live now, it's en suite, but it's open. It's got open. It's hard to explain. One wall is brick up to about shoulder height. One wall is kind of corrugated iron up to about waist height, and then there are a couple of pieces of wood, and one wall is just sort of latticed with split pole. So it's no good animals. I've got lizards and snakes, like spiders, lizards and other small creatures in my shower and bathroom, but nothing big can really get in. I mean, a leopard could jump up there easily. Okay, should see some eyes from here across that drainage line. Shelby. Gosh, how many eggs do the Gene have, and where do they nest? I don't know how many eggs they have, but they only raise one chick. I'm not sure how many eggs they have. Probably maybe two, maybe. One kills the other. I don't really know, Shelby. Nesting, I'm not even sure where they nest. They might even nest also in holes in trees. I'm not too sure. I'll have to look that up. Vicky saying that the female leopard's from Mala Mala. Thank you, Vicky. Not too far south. Okay, well, cubs were here and we were looking here, but I'm not seeing any sign of them. We would probably see eyes, and good chance that maybe Karula was here and she's come to collect them already. I don't know, we left other vehicles here. I don't know whether the vehicles left them here or went on further. At least whether the cubs moved somewhere. Goes to show, kind of expected them to be back once it got dark. I kind of expected or hoped that they'd be out and about, but if they're not here, then there's a strong likelihood that they've been collected by Mom and they've moved off, unless they're in this really thick stuff. But sorry, go ahead, Tara. Julie, interesting about the moon, and it's not, I can't really say much about it. Julie's asking about animal behavior in the moon. Does it make some animals come out, some animals not come out? It's really hard to say. It's not something that you can really quantify much. And I have noticed in the past, the gardenia flower, can you believe it? Been chewed. There's like a couple of more flowers here on this gardenia, but the petals are being chewed. Sorry, just another flower for everyone. Where was that one that I just saw? I just had a flower now. Yeah, there was one here. There's one little one. They're very small because it's very dry, the tree. There's the moon coming through the gardenia.
Zoom on that thing, the flower.
That white thing, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. Just let me stop and listen anyway while we're looking here. Julie, I mean, I've noticed with some lion that I've lived with, that they would hunt buffalo and giraffe on a full moon, but I haven't really noticed that much of a change in other animals. To some degree it makes it harder to stalk animals, and to some degree it makes it easier to stalk. So I've noticed with lion they tend to go for bigger prey at a full moon because they can see better. So a gardenia flower, if you can believe it, this time of year before rain comes. Well, that's probably the tracks that I saw on Vertical Access Road. Somebody saying there was a male lion at the dam. Yeah, no, but Diane was saying somebody else said. But yeah, well, that's what I mean. Diane was saying it, others were saying. Really would like to know these things when it's happening, folks. For the Zoomies, please email us immediately and let us know. Okay, well, just now in South Africa means just now, could have been an hour ago. In some countries, just now means like right now. But in South Africa, when you say just now, well, could have been an hour ago. Oh boy, I'm really chasing my own tail today. We're not having any luck with any of these. Anything. Hang on.
Yeah, we couldn't throw out those stingrays, but thank you very much for letting us try. They went into that cover down there. Flint Dams Road and Stevens there. So thank you very much, Ivan. We'll try again to get better luck tomorrow.
Hey, from Go One. Oh, there's that hole again. Hey, from come in. Alright, these cubs are not here. And the lion didn't come this way, so maybe they did go to the dam. In fact, not maybe, they must have gone to the dam. Hey, from come in. Yeah, there's nothing on Gallagher shortcut, but I believe that there was maybe Gala at the dam just a few minutes ago. The next question is, where did the lion go after? Was it at the dam? Okay, Ross was saying Ross in Texas read recently that they're 10 times more leopard than other big cats in the world. Is this true of Africa? Well, I would imagine, Ross, it's mostly about Africa, since leopard are African. Not very many of them left in Asia. But I think those, I don't know. Once again, this is a figure thrown out by some statistician or something. It's possible. There are certainly a lot more leopard than there are lion and cheetah, and there are probably a lot more leopard than people realize, because leopard is so secretive, and leopard can find places to live where humans wouldn't really believe that they do live, even in suburbia, like foxes in England. So it could be. I don't like things like that, because it's somebody making a guesswork, you know. I don't know, it's numbers being thrown around by I don't know. It's a hard one to comment on, Ross. I don't know numbers. I don't know how many big cats there are compared to leopard. Gosh, it's just a very hard one to comment on, I'm afraid. If there's anybody who saw a lion at the dam that can maybe send an email to Tara, just let us know more or less which direction it went in. These waterbuck are way too, and impala are way too relaxed for those cats to have been here recently. But since we've been chasing our tail all day, we might as well go down to the dam and chase our tail some more. No. Gilly wants to know, do the lodges have generators? Yes, Gilly, they do. If the power goes down, the lodges have all got generators that kick in. Not because elephants knock the power lines over, because it's government supplied power and it gets cut off from time to time, or they have problems keeping the supply up. So it's, in all my years, I've never had elephants knocking power lines down. There might be one or two incidents somewhere. Maybe the full moon does have something to do with a lot of... I mean, I've always said the full moon influences everything. How it does, I don't know. I can't tell you how it does. I just know that it does. But certainly this afternoon's been a good example of just nothing really happening much the way we wanted it to. Yes. Hello, Gail. It's summer coming and things getting full, trees getting full. We're still able to drive off-road after animals. To some degree, yes, we are, Gail. Not too bad. We are still able to. Okay, we'll just have a quick look on the other side of the dam. But it'd be nice to know where those lions were and where they went to. Hello, Scops Owl. Somewhere up here, the Scops Owl. There's something drinking like a cat. But it's not a lion. I think it's a leopard. But I'll settle for a leopard. Hello, pussycat. Or is it a lioness? I think it's a leopard. Looks like a leopard to me. It's hard to tell. This light's very dim. Maybe it's Karula. I've got black screen there. There's not much we'll have to go down there. Looks like a very small, maybe it's one of the cubs. I can't even see that, but there. Here we go. It's a bit better. Young Induna. Ephraim, come in. Ingwe Gari Dam.
Thank you.
Let's go down onto the spillway. We'll see him down there. He's been sitting around this dam all day, young Induna. Don't know how you saw that, Tara. I couldn't even see him with my binoculars yet. I wonder where that other lion, the other cat went. Lion. Excuse me, nightjar. Saved by the cat. Gosh, I was going to think that maybe this is going to be a dud day. What you doing, boy? Has he got something? He's just licking his paws, maybe. He's rolling in something. Hmm? I think it's Yambilu Yordan.
I think so too. I don't think it's Induna.
No, I don't think it's Induna.
His
Yeah,
neck,
no, I think it's Yordan.
his neck is too big for Induna.
Yeah. Just the way he's walking. Look at that tail. He's got that donut with a ring of the tail there. Thought it was Induna at first because I didn't see him too well, but then I saw that one marking next to his eye as well. That the corner of his eye, that black mark. So it's going to stay a little bit. We are going a little bit over time, which means that it's going to push our fireside chat a little bit late. Some people are lucky, they saw lion at the dam and now they've seen leopard. Now where did he go? It's hard to see with those bright lights on the other side there.
I'm not jump out. I can go to.
Well, we lost him. He's a master at slipping away this track. It's time to go home anyway. But at least we got to see him. Also quite strange just seeing how relaxed he was. But he also was being very typical Jordan, just moving along quietly, pretending to walk slowly, and then disappeared. So I'm not even gonna, if we find him now just going down to the dam again, then great. But otherwise, time to go home. Very rough terrain here. You can smell him. I've just marked this area. The plovers are starting to shout at the top end of the dam. Okay, he's probably moved up that way. Smelling fresh leopard scent marking. Must have been on these guarri bushes. I think we're headed north from the dam. I'm leaving the lock. I've lost visual. Yeah, somebody said on the camera, but I don't know what time it was, and I don't see any Mkonzo here on the eastern side of the dam.
Maybe it was at Liverpool.
Okay, kasi I think kanilang gari should cut down out checking over the
Okay, this Ingwe was Jordan. He was heading north towards room 5-6 along the Mighty, but then I lost him. I was down on the spillway.
I don't know what it takes very much.
I'm wondering. Yeah, go Tara. Okay, but you see, Penny saying 6 or 7 minutes ago means, and I don't know how long it's been lagging, because we were here 10 minutes ago. So it must have been just before the leopard, or I don't know, I suppose.
That lion they saw is that leopard.
Okay, but where was the lion, and was it not the leopard that people saw? I don't know. It can be a little. Okay, Penny says lion. Um, we need to know things like, the problem is that the stream lags behind. So I mean, if you're saying 6 minutes ago and the stream is lagging 15 minutes, that doesn't help, unfortunately, and it's not your fault. It's just the way the internet works. But the thing is that when there's an animal at the dam, please, it'd be nice if you can tell us which side of the dam and which way it went. Once we get here, I mean, it's one thing to drive around and look for tracks, but that does take up a bit of time. It's a lot easier if we get an idea of where it was, which direction it headed. Anyways, it's time to end our drive. With lions walking around, leopards walking around, there'll be tracks to find tomorrow. And hopefully Tara will be able to find one for you. Obviously today has not really been my day. Some days you're in the right place at the right time, and some days not. Today was one of those days. It's just not, things weren't timed right, weren't placed right. So interesting that lion and leopard were drinking at the dam around about the same time. I don't see any tracks that it came across that way. Not easy to find tracks on the dam wall. It's very gravelly, not really soft sand. The cat could have also gone below the dam wall if it was drinking on the other side. If it was drinking on this side, it would have either headed up towards the lodge or it would have headed down Twin Dams Road. And let's see, I'll see if I can, before I say goodbye, I'm not really saying goodbye, I'm just saying see you later, because we're going to close down, we're going to get back to camp and try and get up and running with Fireside Chat as soon as possible. So I think I'll just say goodbye here. So don't go too far. You've got time to maybe get a drink or two or a snack or something, and join us around the fire. Sept, Tara and myself will be chatting. Not too sure what we'll chat about, but something. And see you in about half an hour. Bye. Bye.
Hi everybody, this is Tara Final Control, and a nice quiet drive this afternoon, but it looks like it was Yambili Ordan on the dam wall, so hopefully he's going to stick around and we might be lucky enough to see him tomorrow morning. The lions also, I'm keeping my fingers crossed, hopefully we'll see them tomorrow too. But definitely try and join us for our fireside chat. That's going to be in about half an hour's time. Mark's still got to make his way back. So I think we're looking at about 7:10 to be starting fireside chat, so do join us if you can. And myself, Sebastian and Mark will be sitting around and chatting about the sightings of the past few weeks and maybe even previous sightings too, and update you on a few other things as well. So do join us in about half an hour's time.